So let's go ahead and just keep it 100. Y'all have been in a situation where you were giving a girl advice to leave that dude alone, and she said she was gonna do it, but then not even a week later that night, she's back with that dude. It just makes you want to make this face right here. That's the face I be talking about right there. That's my new face for everything now. So it's a lot of y'all women out there that are making it hard for me to do this. But I'll be alright. So let's roll it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your favorite YouTuber, your favorite doctoral student, and your favorite future professor, Bertie L. Coleman III. I'm here to bring you a special edition episode of Road to the Doctorate. This particular episode here is one of those episodes where when you venture off into the unknown, sometimes you are shocked by the answers that you find. So I was scrolling through some DMs and I got an odd request. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He needed some advice about dating. And honestly, I told him, I said I was not the person to ask about dating because I have no idea how to date. I mean, I've done it before. I failed more times than I succeeded, but I really don't know how to date for real. I know the ins and outs of chemistry. I know how body chemistry work. I know how to just use one-liners and all that stuff. But what he was requesting was something more specific. So I gave him the information about it. And immediately afterwards, I started watching Kane Carter on YouTube. And it got me thinking. I was like, you know what? There are some stuff that I know how to do. So I figured I'd make my own version of the videos that he made, and I'll put the links to the original videos down in the description. So it got me thinking. Meeting the family and meeting the friends. Very, very, very different dynamics. But for this purpose, I'm going to be sticking with the family first, and then we're going to hop over to the friends. And I'm going to stick with the immediate family, and I'd say maybe 3 best friends, because that's usually how the crowd works. All right, so meeting the family. We definitely have to make note of the fact that the mother is always first. When you get to the mother, be polite. Be very polite. Be very gentlemanlike. Because you don't want to go in there just being all rude and whatnot. Even if your personality doesn't really line up with it, at least be gentleman enough to the mother, because you don't want to disrespect her. Then you want to make sure that if you really are interested in this girl, make sure that she knows it. Not just by your words, but by your actions. You know, just be respectful to both parties, because let me tell you something. At the end of the day, no matter what you do behind the closed doors, what you do on the outside is just as important. I know they say you can't judge a book by its cover, but that's what parents are going to do. They're going to judge that book by the cover that they see. For example, one of the questions that's going to come out of both parents' mouths are, what do you do for a living? At least at the age range that we are at. So they're going to be asking, what do you do for a living? For me, I'm a teacher. So automatically, I know the mothers are going to love it. They're going to be like, oh my God, you teach them hard-headed babies. How do you do it? And then I would have to say something like, ma'am, compared to what you've had to do and all the mothers around here, I find my job very easy. And while that sounds like it's sugar-coated bullcrap, it's actually the truth. My job is much easier than some of these parents are nowadays. Like, for real. Let's keep this thing real. Whew. Now, meeting the father. Meeting the father is no easy task. Matter of fact, some would say that it is the hardest task of the entire bunch, because the father is real intimidating. He's real strict. And so he's going to be asking that question, what do you plan on doing with my daughter? And of course, you want to be honest. How much honesty you put into that, though, he gonna know that too. For example, if I'm gonna say something, if I'm gonna answer that question, I'm gonna make sure that I want to treat her the same way that I would treat my mother. And everybody that knows me, they know I love my mother. I love my mother, and I would not want anything to happen to her. So I'm gonna give that same treatment to the person I'm dating. All right? It's a standard answer, but it's the truth, especially if you are that kind of person that you are. All right? Then you got some of the other filler questions. He's gonna ask the same question too. Be like, hey, what do you do for a living? Of course, you gotta tell him the same thing. Be like, hey, I teach, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a taxing job, but somebody's gotta do it, and I was called to teach. And then may ask some sports questions. Be like, hey, you into any sports? Be like, sure, I am. I like football, basketball, and baseball. Asking your favorite teams, and if you push it just right, you might be able to veer off into that conversation, and then next thing you know, be like, all right, man, be back by so-and-so time, or, you know, just take care of my little girl. That's usually how the conversation should end. Or if you really play it right, you want your conversation to have a part two. For example, if you were to impress the father enough and be like, hey, we need to pick up that conversation later. You play pool? Be like, sure I do play pool. Be like, oh man, I could really use a pool player, man. Play a little pool, get a little something going. Oh yeah, come on by the house anytime. After that, you pretty much solidified. Now, the sister, we're gonna have to take this a little bit towards the end. If it's an older sister, then 9 times out of 10, she's just gonna pick at you. She's not gonna really try to like scare you off. She's just gonna pick at you and make sure that you know you really got thick skin, that you can do and say what you really gonna do. All right. If it's a big brother, you really gotta come with it. You can't be fake with the brother. You might be able to be fake with the parents, although I don't recommend it, but you definitely cannot be fake with the brother. And they got BS detectors on their heads too, most of the time. Just be honest, man. If he asks you, be like, do you find his sister attractive? Tell him yes. But you also tell him that I'm gonna respect your sister. I'm only gonna do what she allows me to do. And that's my promise. And so you get that out there, lay it down. Now, let's get into the younger siblings. Now, if she's the older sibling, then this is a tricky game. Both genders of younger siblings tend to follow the same formula. Basically, it goes like this. If you play a little game with them, watch a little bit of the cartoons with them, help them with their homework. Basically, if you nurture them the same way you nurture your own younger siblings or younger cousins or nephews and nieces, then the girl is not only going to see, but everybody else in the family will, and be like, oh, he has a nurturing spirit. Despite any other flaw you may have, there's that. So therein is the immediate family. So we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna look at part 2, meeting the friends. Hey guys, have you ever been wanting to learn a foreign language, but not really get a good grip on it because you find it so hard to try to conjugate verbs and conjugate tenses and try to learn it all from a silly book? Have you also been wanting to eat a little healthier, get a little advice about how to communicate, and be able to have a better lifestyle? Well, check this out. So, Cinco Minutos Conmigos is a channel on YouTube that caters to all of that. You get an education in Spanish, you get to learn new recipes, you get to learn how to do nonverbal communications, and you also get good advice from this channel. I have personally subscribed to it. Road to the Doctorate is subscribed to this channel, and I suggested you subscribe to it as well. There's great content that comes out of it, and I guarantee you it is definitely going to be worth watching. Here's a clip from the most recent video that was been uploaded, and it's making me hungry for tacos too. Roll it!
So I'm going to share some of my cooking tools with you, and I'm going to also teach you some Spanish. Yes, I'm a bilingual speaker. Yo hablo inglés y también español. I speak English and Spanish. Today we're going to make my favorite, which is tacos. And we're going to make shrimp tacos with a little bit of soul. So I'm going to show you the way I do it, and I'm going to teach you some Spanish. So first, I want to show you guys the ingredients that I have. Aguacate de aceite. I have to think about what it was. So this is avocado oil. I have hongos. mushrooms, espinaca, spinach, aguacates. I have tortillas de maíz, ajo, which is garlic. I have camarones, which is shrimp, and I have queso. So these are all the ingredients that you need to make your tacos, okay? Now, after all done, you're gonna get this. It smells so good. So next video, I'm going to tell you more stories. I'm going to show you more recipes on how I lost my weight. And also, let me know about your before and after. What are you eating? What are some tips that you are sharing with others and how you lost weight or how you learned to love new foods like fruits and vegetables? Share with me and we can glow and grow together. Adios.
So there you have it. So get you a little bit of Espanol, get you a little bit of healthy eating, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Give her those subs, give her those likes, those comments, and so she can continue putting out great videos. I promise you, it's gonna be well worth the wait. Want me some Mexican food now. Might get some tacos. Back to the show. All right, so check it. This is part 2 of the whole new personal episode of Road to the Doctorate. This one's about meeting the friends. Now, meeting the friends is a little bit more complicated than meeting the family because you never know what kind of friends that you're gonna run into when you're dating somebody. Now, ordinarily in the past, I would normally stick with just girls, but now you got friends that are males, and you got some that are, of a different community. So I'm gonna teach you how to navigate through all of them, just so you can be on the safe side. All right, good example. We're gonna break each part of it down so it'll be much easier to digest. Let's start off with the obvious. We're gonna start off with the best friend. This is the best friend that likely has been knowing her for practically all her life. She's gonna know practically everything there is to know about this girl, and you wanna make sure you make a very good impression with her, because if you don't, then you're gonna screw it up for every other friend that's gonna be looking at you. You're gonna be like, that's that dude that he called himself trying to date her? No, we don't like him. Now, granted, the best friend is not always going to be as brutal, but she definitely is not going to be a pushover either. You're going to have to really already be on your game. You got to already have a good reputation in order to even have a chance to be able to get past that interview stage with her. Like if she already knows you, knows that you're a good guy, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get any friction with her. As a matter of fact, she's going to be your asset in order to be able to lock down that girl for life. So, moving on. In every group, there's always a duff. But we don't use that term anymore. We're gonna call this one the nispeth. All right, we're gonna call it the nispeth, the not so pretty friend. This one is like the security dog. She's gonna come around and be like, hey, can't be talking to an old girl like that, right? Like, yo, I'm just trying to get to know her a little bit. I just want to be able to, take her out on a date and show her a good time. Back up. Like, back the hell up. So, when it comes to her, all you really got to do is just hope and pray that the girl that you're dating has a lot of control over her. That's just gonna be the honest fact. Like, if you got a girl busting up the flow every time, you might as well hang that up, bro. Ain't no matter how many friends you got, she's gonna be the one that's gonna be around often, and she's gonna break up the mood. So keep that in mind. Ain't much I can tell you about that one. I've had trouble with them. Them delfs are some show enough mistress. But yeah. Now we're moving on. We got the friend that just straight up does not like you. Ooh, these are hard to please. It doesn't matter how great of a person you are, they do not like you. Now, this is not to say the same thing about the nispers. The nispers are a different category. You can get them to actually like you if you play your cards right, but you're gonna have to do a little bit of finagling, I guess you can will. So, I don't recommend it, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. back to the friend that doesn't like you. We're gonna call this one the angry friend. The angry friend is always angry about something, and it usually has something to do with the friend who's dating the guy. That's you. So when you are talking to this particular person, it does just find something that the two of you hate. Like, for example, if you know that she hates guys who sag their pants, and you know you are that person that wears your clothes correctly and you hate sagging too, lead it off. Be like, hey, she told me that you were really against sagging, and I'm gonna be honest, I hate sagging too because it gives off a bad narrative for us black guys. Do you realize that can actually take her over the moon right there? She could slowly turn from the friend that hates you to the friend that's gonna ride for you. Now, granted, she's not gonna put up with a lot of your BS. That is, if you know you're even capable of it, because black men don't cheat. Shout out to Carlos Miller. And once you get her on your side, just be cool, just be calm, be collected, just stay on top of your game, relax. And then eventually when that sense of humor start coming out of her, then you can start easing them jokes in. Now, we got one on the team that's gonna like you. Like she gonna be the one that's gonna mysteriously pop up in the DMs one day and be like, hey, I always liked you, but she saw you first. Run. Do not be in a room by yourself with this girl. Mostly because if you have a weak heart, you're gonna fall for it. If she too strong for you, you're gonna fall for it. Simply put. Because if she too strong for you, she gonna take it. And then you're gonna feel guilty, and then you're gonna end up telling your girl that you end up messing around with the best friend, and the next thing you know, the nispeth, the mean girl, and the parents too, they all gonna come and get you. Even the one that's already for you, she gonna turn. So please be careful. Leave that one alone. Alright, now I've gotten to all the female friends, all the possible female friends that you could have. Male friends. Never trust a woman who does not have a male friend. That says a lot. If a woman does not have a male friend, you don't have a perspective, you don't have an outside perspective to look on. And this is very true for the opposite too. You never trust a guy that does not have a female best friend. That's a dangerous thing to leave off with. I may explain that one day, but for right now, for time's sake, I'm gonna use something else. So the male best friend comes in one of three categories. The dude that likes her, as far as that's the homie, I'm always gonna, be friends with her for life. Those kind of guys, fairly easy to get along with. Because normally most of the time you two probably have something in common, or if you don't have anything in common, you tend to find something else in common other than the fact that you both care about that girl. Now, the second type, it's gonna be a little funny, and I use funny in a very loose way because he's a little on the sweet side. He's gonna be part of the community, and one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to insult them. And there are a lot of different ways that you can insult the people of that community. And honestly, it's probably best if you just go in with a better mindset. This is not to say that you gotta fake it, but you gotta really be sincere in saying that you support the community, because the Pride Month is their month. They want the same respect that everybody else gets. And honestly, I can verify for that. I can vouch for that, because some people really take this thing seriously. So you let that guy know, be like, hey, I know your lifestyle, you're still my friend. And do you realize that sincere support will put you so far in the game, he will spill all the secrets. You think a woman can spill secrets? Wait until you made friends with a gay guy. They'll tell you everything. So be sincere in the way that you feel. but also be respectful too. They really honor that. They really trust it. So not much I can say behind that, because once you're in the game, you're in the game. Now there's a third one. This one's the hardest one to deal with. This male friend is the best friend that liked her, but got put in the friend zone, but may have a chance to get out. This is the dude that will terrify you the most if you're not careful. He will catch you by surprise too, because 9 times out of 10, you get around to the serious stages, and then he'll bust out with the whole, I loved you all this time, but we always kept missing each other, blase, time and opportunity didn't link up the way they're supposed to be. Do not engage with this dude. Do not engage him. Just trust that the girl that you're dating put him in the friend zone for a reason. That's about all I can say on that one. So, there you have it. You have the entire booklet, the entire video of how to meet the family and how to meet her friends. So, you got questions, comments, or you got suggestions, or you guys got ideas, hit me up on my social media, leave a comment below. Definitely, I want you first-time viewers, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. For all you returning viewers, share my page. Let the folks know how fire this content is. So, as I always like to say, this has been another Silvertongue production. Stay safe, mask up. God bless.